Hello, Math 7 students. Today we're going to talk about Chapter 6, Solving Equations with the Distributive Property. Let's take a look at example 1. You may notice that we have a number outside of a set of parentheses, and that should be an indication to you that we're doing distributive. Remember that when you do distributive, I want you to draw the arrows to show me that you remember you're multiplying 3 times c to get 3c, and 3 times 5 to get 15. So the 3 gets multiplied by both of the terms, c and 5, in the set of parentheses. Now, once you've done that, the hard part is over because you have a two-step equation that you should feel very confident solving. In order to solve this equation, we're going to get rid of the constant first. The constant is the plus 15. To undo plus 15, we're going to subtract 15 from both sides. Draw your line. 3c drops down. 15 minus 15 gives me 0, and 12 minus 15 on the right side of the equal sign gives me negative 3. Now we're down to a one-step equation. There is multiplication in between the 3 and the c. To undo that, we're going to divide both sides by 3, the coefficient. c is going to equal, and 3 divided by 3 is 1. c is going to equal negative 1, and we're going to put that in set braces. Let's try the check. So here's my original line of the check, and then I'm going to replace c with the answer we got, which was negative 1. So 3 open parentheses, negative 1 plus 5, close those parentheses, equal to 12. Now, there's two ways you can solve this guy, but the easier way is just to go ahead and add what's in parentheses first. Negative 1 plus 5 gives me 4, and then you can multiply 3 times 4 to give me 12. The other way you could solve this is you could distribute the 3 to each of these pieces, but because there's no variable here, and because this is a check, you can just add them like I did. Let's try example 2. In example 2, you'll notice that we're not distributing a number. We have a opposite sign or a negative outside of the parentheses. Before we address that, let's rewrite the subtraction. 2x plus negative 11 equal to 7. Now, distributing an opposite sign is the same as multiplying by negative 1. So what you can do is you can make this into a negative 1 times, in parentheses, 2x plus negative 11. Or you can leave it as an opposite sign and just draw your arrows from there. So if you take the opposite of 2x, you get negative 2x. And if you take the opposite of negative 11, you have positive 11. Now that I'm done with distributing, I don't have parentheses around my 2x plus 11. They go away once you've used them up. I'm going to get rid of my constant first by subtracting 11 to both sides. That gives me negative 2x, these 0 out, equal to negative 4. Now I'm going to get rid of the coefficient by dividing both sides by negative 2. And these become 1. Negative 2 divided by negative 2 is 1. X is going to equal to positive 2, and we're going to put that in set braces. Let's try the check. I've got my original, and I'm going to now show the plug-in line. 2 times 2 minus 11 equal to 7. Again, what I want to do is follow order of ops and do parentheses first. 2 times 2 gives me 4, and I've still got the minus 11. 4 minus 11 gives me negative 7, and this opposite sign says take the opposite of negative 7, which is positive 7. So 7 equals 7, check mark, you're done. So in example 3, I do have some subtraction we can rewrite. Let's make this 3x plus negative 2 in parentheses equal to negative 32. And I'm going to draw my arrows. This time I'm distributing a negative 4. So I'm taking negative 4 times 3x gives me negative 12x. And negative 4 times negative 2 gives me positive 8. And now I'm down to a two-stepper. So you should feel confident that you need to get rid of the 8 first by subtracting it from both sides. These zero out, and I have negative 12x equal to negative 40. And then I'm going to divide both sides by the coefficient, which is negative 12. So negative 12 divided by negative 12 gives me 1x. And 40 divided by negative 12 is, it's 3.3 repeating, or 3 1/3, or my preferred way would be the improper fraction, which is equal to 3 times 3, which is 9, plus 1, 10/3. So I would really recommend using 10/3 for your check to plug in. Let's try the check together. I've got my original, negative 4 times, in parentheses, 3x minus 2 equal to negative 32. Now what I'm going to do is plug in the 10/3 that I got for x. So 10 over 3 minus the 2 equals negative 32. The cool thing about this is the multiplication here, this is going to kind of balance out because 3 times 10 over 3 is just 10. Minus the 2 equal to negative 32. And then I've got negative 4 times 10 minus 2 gives me 8. So we're going to get negative 32 equal to negative 32 on both sides. For example 4, we're distributing a fraction. We don't have any subtraction or rewrite, so we're going to jump right in. We're taking 3/4 times each of the things in parentheses. So let's start with 3/4 times 4x. If you type that in your calculator, 3/4 times 4 is just 3, and then you've got an x on there. 3/4 times 8 is equal to 6. And if you notice, yes, we started with an ugly fraction, but now we've kind of balanced out the equation to be just integers, which is kind of nice. And now we can treat this like a two-step equation. We're going to subtract 6 from both sides to get rid of that constant. These zero out to give me 3x equal to negative 18. And then dividing by the coefficient of 3, this gives me 1. So x equals negative 6. We'll put him on set braces and do the check. I've got my original 3/4 times the 4x plus 8. We're going to plug in what we got. We got negative 6. And following order of ops, let's do 4 times negative 6 first. That gives me negative 24 plus the 8. And adding negative 24 plus 8, we're going to get negative 16. And then we're kind of in the blue area here. So 3/4 times negative 16 is going to give me negative 12 equal to negative 12. Now you have 2 more that I want you to try. The first one is 3 parentheses x plus 4 equals 18. So the first thing I want you to do is show me what you get once you distribute the 3 to each of those things. So you should have got an answer of 3x plus 12 from distributing the 3. And now I want you to get rid of the constant. So by getting rid of that constant, you have now 3x equal to 6. Divide by 3, so x should equal 2. Try the check. You should be getting an answer of 18 equal to 18. And the last one you're going to try on your own. Make sure that you use the fraction capability of your calculator to type in the 1/3.